Hello everybody and welcome to the least viewed video on YouTube. It's of course Friday's news show. Without further ado, let's have jingle. Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show on YouTube. Terms and conditions apply. Don't sue me. This is purely entertainment, not factually correct. I say that. Wednesday's video. A preview of the final Grand Tour this year absolutely died, whilst everybody else's seemed to be really successful. Is it because, listen, I can handle the criticism. Is the content, I don't know. If it is, fine, leave a comment, let me know. I'll stop wasting everyone's time. Trust the process. Trust the process. Hello everybody, welcome back to another news show. Without further ado, let's get straight into it with this news I have to share. It's a feel-good Friday story. Of how we got here, not great. Obviously, most of you will know Phil from Bike Racing Without Mercy. If you don't subscribe to his channel, link down in the description, go and check it out. Back at the end of May of this year, he had a horrendous accident, horrendous crash. So lucky to get away with some serious injuries, but still he got away with his life, and he's fully on the mend, and he's taken probably the biggest step he has in a long time. And I'm sure there'll be a video of this ride coming soon, but last week, as you can see from his Strava here, he was in Tenerife, and from this picture here you can see that he was riding his bike back out on the road. And I feel like this needs context, because to hear that someone who broke their back is out riding their bike in a brace probably doesn't sound great. However, he simply climbed Teide, Mount Teide. But his ride involved nothing more than a slow and steady paced ride up Mount Teide. No descending, no flat road riding, simply ascended Teide. I think more for his mental well-being than his physical well-being, to know that he can do it, to go and actually do it, and to hopefully build his confidence back so he's back out on the roads. But if you've not checked out his story yet, like I said, link down in the description. Amazing that he's back out on the road, and hopefully we'll see a full recovery from Phil. And hopefully, he won't mind me saying, he's got some really exciting stuff planned next year when he is fully recovered. So once again, as ever, we send our best to Phil. Go and check out his videos. Who doesn't love to start with a feel-good story? That's it, you negative Nancy, whoever you are. But can we end with a feel-good story? Because as of the time of recording this, Dan Bigham is off underway on his hour record. Is he going to take the hour record? Can he go further than his British national record? Who knows? Stick around to the end of the show to find out. Without further ado, let's get into Rested News with little transition. Hesh. Next up, news broke only a few days ago of Tom Dumoulin announcing his retirement with immediate effect. If I remember rightly, he's already done this, but I think this one might be the moment that he decides he's done. You don't need me to tell you what a glittering career Tom Dumoulin had. Obviously world champion in 2017 in the individual time trial. 3 Tour de France stage wins, 4 Giro d'Italia stage wins, and obviously he won the Giro d'Italia back in 2017. But as it stands, the 31-year-old has left cycling. Thomas, dankjewel. Moving across to this story here, Simon Yates slams UCI World Tour regulation system ahead of Vuelta España. I spoke about this quite a few times in the show recently, because we're getting to that point in the season where there is potential that a few of those UCI World Tour teams won't be getting their license renewed for next year, and new teams will be stepping up and getting their World Tour license. And Bike Exchange Jayco could be one of those teams that drops into that relegation spot and doesn't get a World Tour license. And Simon Yates is bloody fuming. Yates, talking to Cycling News, said, "For us specifically, it's been terrible. We've not had our season, as in the Australian season." That's a reference to the Santos Tour Down Under, which had been cancelled for several seasons now because of COVID-19. Going back to 2020, I had to pull out of the race with COVID, and on paper, those are the races where we could have swung a lot of points and we'd be nowhere near the bottom. I'm sure that there are other teams in the same situation, not scoring points here or there or whatever, and from that point of view, I don't think it's necessarily been fair over these 3 years. True. However, It's been the same for everybody. It's not like Bike Exchange Jayco haven't been invited to events. They've been there, they've just not got the points. And obviously it's a 3-year cycle, so back in 2020, 2021, people aren't really necessarily thinking, oh God, we better watch out for the relegation in a few years' time. They've just not planned for it. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, this whole relegation thing. Because now it spices things up. It makes the teams think, if we don't get results, we run the risk of not getting a UCI World Tour license, which means we're not going to get invited to the bigger races. We potentially couldn't bring in bigger riders, and our budget might end up getting cut. But what happens then? They send riders to races that they know they can do well at. They send big name riders to smaller named races. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it good for the races, the events, that they get big names coming to these events to try and get results? I don't know, but it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on it. Should this be a yearly thing? Should this churn through World Tour and Pro Conti teams every year? Give those Pro Conti teams a chance of stepping up. If they step up, does that allow their budgets to increase, which allows them to get a more formidable roster for their team? Is it going to allow teams that just don't take Deceuninck, what are they called now? Alpecin Fenix, Alpecin Deceuninck. They're clearly safe in that top spot. They're going to receive that World Tour license, but the majority of people thought they were World Tour anyway, didn't they? You had the likes of Mathieu van der Poel riding for what is essentially still a Pro Conti team, right? Now it's going to step up to World Tour. Bingo Powell's, if they make it into there, can they then get more money behind them? Are their sponsors going to funnel more money into them to give them a better chance of getting better riders? I don't know. I don't know how it works fully. All I know is Simon Yates is whinging. Lotto Soudal down there in the relegation spot. We could see potentially 2 World Tour teams losing their license and 2 Pro Conti teams gaining their license for next year, which is exciting in my eyes. Let me know what you think down below. Next up, let's talk about this story here. Nairo Quintana. I don't know. Has he been naughty or has he not been naughty? Because he's been disqualified from this year's Tour de France results after testing positive for Tramadol. Not once, but twice. So the Colombian tested positive on 2 occasions during the race, but won't face suspension. But why is that, Chris? Well, technically Tramadol's not banned under WADA, it's only banned under the UCI ruling, and it's not banned as a performance-enhancing drug. It's banned out of medical reasons, and it's banned because of the severe side effects that you receive from it. It's a dangerous drug to take when you're operating heavy machinery and very light carbon fibre bikes in a massive peloton with road furniture. I mean, it makes sense. It makes a hell of a lot of sense. So since March 2019, Tramadol has been banned for in-competition use, though testing positive for Tramadol doesn't constitute an anti-doping violation. It's exactly what I just said. As such, Quintana is free to continue competing and won't be subject to a racing ban. The UCI announced on Wednesday that the Union Cicliste Internazionale announces that the Colombian rider Nairo Alexander Quintana Rojas has been sanctioned for an infringement of the in-competition ban on using Tramadol as set out in the UCI medical rules with the aim of protecting the safety. I just said all this. See, I know this. Safety and health of riders in light of the side effects of this substance. The analysis of 2 dried blood samples provided by the rider on the 8th and 13th of July during the 2022 Tour de France revealed the presence of Tramadol and 2 main metabolites. So I don't really know where to stand on this. He took a substance that he knew was banned. Well, wait. Because according to Nairo Quintana, he's obviously pleading his innocence, and this is what he had to say on the matter. Today I learned with surprise of the UCI's announcement of an infraction for the use of Tramadol. Totally unaware of the use of this substance, and I deny having used it in my career. With my team of lawyers, we're exhausting all the processes for my defence. I also want to confirm that I will stay at the Vuelta, get on my bike, and give the best of my ability for my team, for my country, and for my supporters. To which, if you've read any other news outlet, you'll realise that Nairo Quintana has actually pulled out of La Vuelta now. Obviously, he doesn't want to put that heat on his team with this cloud of Tramadol hanging over him. But how and I've said this, I think I've said this time and again, I've only been dope tested twice in my life. And I remember the 2 times I did, I had a huge panic thinking, what if I've taken something that contained a banned substance and I end up getting banned? But then I realised, actually, I think about everything that I put in my system, so there shouldn't be any contamination, so I shouldn't ever test positive. So for me, the argument of saying that I have no idea how this got into my system is bullshit. Those riders know exactly what goes in their body. They wouldn't run the risk of ever allowing something that wasn't checked and triple checked before putting it in. He took tramadol on 2 of the toughest stages of the Tour de France. Go figure. So, do you know what? At this moment in time, it'd be better for him to say, I did. I was hoping I was going to get away with it. Because for me, when I've taken tramadol in the past, and you know what? It doesn't give me many side effects, so it was worth the risk. And I'd not normally put my other competitors in danger because I knew I was relatively safe on it. And I really needed to get up them hills because I'm tired. And I was hoping I could at least stay in contention. Because if I stay in contention and make it into the top 5, I get a massive bonus. If I get a massive bonus, it means, you know, get to feed the kids a little longer. Do you know what I mean? Like, just admit it, because you're not getting banned for it. Admit it, say you did it, say this is why I did it, because I was tired. I'm sorry. So sorry, guys. Didn't really affect the results in the end anyway. It's not like he just took off up the hill, did he? Anyway, I want to get your thoughts on it. Should tramadol be banned in the first instance? I think it should be. I think that's a silly question, Chris, but it should be, because the side effects are just too extreme. 2, should a rider receive a ban after testing positive for something that's on the medically banned list rather than the performance enhancing ban list? Technically, you're trying to enhance your performance by dulling the pain, allowing your body to go further, but that in effect could be just as, if not more dangerous than taking performance enhancing drugs, because you're pushing your body to beyond its limits. Your body has pain receptors for a reason. It's like, stop doing this now. So if you keep doing this, you're going to die. But you can dull them and say, nah, I'll be fine. But one day someone won't be fine and back. So should riders be banned for taking tramadol, even if it's only a 6-month ban, just to really kind of hit home the severity of taking it? I don't know. And final question, in terms of Nairo Quintana, this is the first time we've seen someone being caught for the use of tramadol. Is this going to tarnish his career? Is this going to tarnish anything that goes on? Or is everyone going to go, it was just tramadol, mate, don't worry about it, crack on? Leave your comments down below. And then finally, the news of Dan Bigham. It still hasn't happened yet, so we're going to cut to a bit of B-roll now, and I'm going to voice over it and tell you exactly what happened. But I think, predicting that he has just broke the world record. Chris, can we get a live report on that? Has Dan Bigham broke the hour record?
Hi Chris, great to hear from you. And yes, I am here live in Gretchen in Switzerland, and we are approaching the final couple of laps here. Dan Bigham has absolutely ridden this to perfection. He is going to smash the hour world record. He's going to do it by around 459 metres. As he comes over the line, maybe 1 lap to go, maybe 2 laps to go. He's well over 55 kilometres now. What is the final length? I don't know just yet. Hang fire and I'll tell you. He's coming over the line to finish. There he goes. Well done, Dan. That's a new record holder. 55.548 kilometres. Smashing Victor Campenaerts's record, like I said, by 459 metres.
So there you go. He definitely broke it. Broke that lap record. Definitely broke it. So without further ado, let's wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. None of you ever do. Leave your comments. No one ever does. What's the point in even doing it? And most people aren't even watching this at this point. I don't know why. Most people aren't watching my goddamn channel anyway. I think it's time for OnlyFans. If you've got this far, leave a comment down below and let me know, would you like to see some OnlyFans content from me? I'll literally do anything right at this point. I'll do anything. If the price is right. See you next week.